Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed. At 1,000 subscribers, I'll be posting a special video. His hand landed on my lower back and stayed there. I stepped sideways to break contact and he followed. My sister was right in front of us, chatting like normal. I forced a laugh that sounded fake even to me, and he noticed. I'm Claire, 28, and I hate conflict in public. I hate it so much I turned it into a habit. I smiled at him like nothing happened because I panicked. He smiled back like he'd won something small. He pulled me into a hug that lasted one beat too long. My arms went stiff, then I tried to play it off. He leaned close near my ear like we shared a joke. Missed you, he breathed, and my skin went tight. I backed up and grabbed the nearest conversation. I nodded at a cousin's story and pretended to listen. My brother-in-law angled himself beside me anyway. His knee bumped mine under the table, and it did not move. I shifted my chair and he shifted too. I took a sip of water just to have an excuse. He watched my mouth instead of my eyes, which felt wrong. Then he smiled at my sister like the perfect husband. I told myself I was being dramatic. You know that feeling when your brain negotiates with danger. I made a mental list of excuses, and I hated myself for it. Then his fingers brushed my side again, slow and casual. I stood up fast and headed toward the kitchen. I needed space and I needed air and I needed out. I reached for a cup and his shadow blocked my path. He didn't touch me that time, which somehow felt worse. Hey, his voice stayed low like a secret. I kept my face neutral and kept my hands busy. What's up? My answer came out too polite. He smiled like he loved how careful I sounded. He leaned on the counter like he owned the room. His eyes flicked to my chest, then back to my face. You look really good tonight, he let the words hang. I stared at the faucet like it could rescue me. I tried to laugh it off with a joke. He didn't laugh back, not even a little. He stepped closer until I could feel his heat. Don't do that, his tone turned sharp, and my stomach dropped. I moved around him and aimed for the doorway. His hand shot out and caught my wrist, quick. Not hard enough to leave a mark, just enough to warn me. I yanked free and he let go, smiling the whole time. My sister called my name from the other room. I answered too fast, like I'd been caught stealing. He watched me rush back to the group, calm as ever. I realized he was testing me, and I didn't know the rules yet. My phone vibrated in my pocket before I even sat down. I glanced at the screen and my pulse jumped. A new message from him stared back at me. You disappeared on me, and I felt my throat tighten. I told myself not to open it yet. I still opened it because I'm apparently that person. The next line hit harder than the first. Come back where I can see you, like I was a task. I locked my phone and slid it face down. Then I caught him looking straight at my pocket. He raised his glass slightly, almost like a toast. It was subtle and it made my stomach twist. I tried to anchor myself near the loudest relatives. I joined a group talk and kept nodding at safe jokes. He drifted closer anyway, like he belonged in the circle. His shoulder brushed mine and he did not flinch. I pivoted to the other side of the room. He didn't chase fast, he let me think I had space. Then he appeared again beside the snack table. Relax, he smiled and my jaw clenched. I forced my hands to stay steady while I grabbed a plate. I could feel him tracking every small move I made. Why are you acting scared? His voice stayed soft. I stared at the chips like they were suddenly complicated. I tried to answer with a shrug and a joke. He leaned in just enough to steal my air. You liked it last time, his eyes dared me to react. My brain went blank like someone pulled the plug. I walked away fast, then slowed down to look normal. That switch flipped to me and I hated it. I kept thinking about my sister's smile earlier. How do you ruin that without becoming the villain? I ducked into the hallway and checked my phone again. 2 more messages waited, stacked like threats. One word from you and I stop, then or I don't. I stared at that last line until my hands started shaking. I typed stop, then erased it, then typed it again. I didn't send it and I'm not proud of that. I pictured him showing my sister some edited version later. Then a door creaked behind me and I turned. He was there, blocking the narrow space like a wall. He didn't touch me, which somehow felt like strategy. You're making this weird, he spread his hands innocent. I stepped back and hit the corner, trapped by polite silence. I'm going back, my voice came out thin. He tilted his head like I was a child lying. Say you're fine, his smile stayed friendly for anyone watching. I swallowed hard because I knew he meant it. I slipped past him when someone laughed in the other room. He let me go, and that scared me more. I made it back to the crowd with my heart hammering. Then I saw him across the room, already watching my sister. My sister grabbed my wrist and pulled me toward the porch door. Her nails dug in like she needed control. What's wrong with you? Her eyes stayed bright for the room. I felt my throat close because she sounded annoyed, not worried. I leaned close so nobody else could hear. I need you to listen, my voice came out rough. He's been crossing lines with me. I hated how small that sounded. She blinked once, then her mouth tightened like a trap. She let go and folded her arms. Are you serious right now? She glanced over my shoulder. The way she checked the room first made me flinch. It felt like I already lost a vote I never called. I pulled my phone out and held it low. I have messages, my thumb hovered over the screen. She didn't look down, not even a little. Don't start this, her voice landed like a slap. I tried again and my words tripped over each other. He cornered me, he keeps texting stuff that isn't okay. I watched her face change then snap back. She shook her head like she was shaking off a bad smell. Stop, her finger jabbed my chest, quick and sharp. You always do this when I'm happy, she kept her voice sweet. My ears rang because that sentence was so unfair. I stood there holding proof she refused to see. I swallowed and tried a different angle. Would you want someone talking to you like that? She scoffed and looked past me toward the living room. Don't compare us, her tone made me feel childish. I held the phone closer, almost pleading now. She finally glanced down, then looked away fast. I don't want to see it, her lips pressed flat. That choice hit me hard because it was a choice. Footsteps came up behind us, slow and deliberate. I didn't turn right away because I already knew. Everything okay out here? His voice slid between us. My sister's shoulders eased like she'd been waiting for backup. He stepped beside her and placed a hand on her waist. It looked tender and it felt like a warning. His eyes found mine and stayed there, steady and calm. I hated how safe he looked standing next to her. My sister tilted her head toward me like I was the problem. She's upset, her tone went light, almost playful. He chuckled once and lifted his brows at me. Upset about what? The question sounded rehearsed. I tried to speak and my mouth went dry. He took that pause and filled it fast. She's been weird with me all night, his shrug looked casual. My sister's face tightened like she believed it instantly. I snapped and shoved my phone toward her again. Look, my hand shook and I hated that too. She pushed my wrist down like I was holding something dirty. Then he leaned in and murmured, careful, so only I heard it, and I froze. He snagged my elbow near the doorway and steered me inside. His grip looked harmless and it was. He kept smiling at everyone like we were friends. I pulled free and he let me go too easily, like he planned it. He started orbiting me for the rest of the night. Every time I changed spots, he appeared again. It felt like a game I never agreed to play. He kept his distance just enough to look innocent. He found ways to touch without touching. A shoulder accident, a hand hovering too close. He'd lean in and speak near my ear, then drift away. I could feel people watching but not seeing. My phone buzzed again and I didn't move. I refused to give him the satisfaction of a flinch. Then my sister glanced at my pocket like she noticed. Her eyes narrowed and my chest tightened because he'd gotten to her. I tried to stay glued to my sister after that. If I stayed near her, he'd have to behave. He did behave, which was the problem. He became charming on purpose, and it worked. He started including me in every group moment. He'd call my name from across the room. Come sit with us, his hand patted the couch once. It looked welcoming until you felt the trap under it. I declined with a smile that hurt my face. He didn't push, he pivoted. Look at her, he gestured at me like I was performing. A few people laughed and I felt my cheeks burn because it landed. My sister pulled me aside near the hallway again. Her voice was tight, like she'd been holding it in. He says you've been weird with him, her eyes didn't blink. I stared at her, stunned by how fast it flipped. I tried to answer and my words stumbled. I'm not doing anything, my hands lifted in a helpless gesture. She shook her head like she'd already decided. Then why does he keep asking if you're okay? Her question sliced. I reached for my phone and she stiffened. Don't, her palm pressed my wrist down. That move felt rehearsed, like she'd practiced it. My mouth went dry because now I knew he coached her. He slid in like he sensed the tension. What's going on? His tone stayed light and concerned. My sister pointed at me, quick and sharp. She's making things uncomfortable. The words hit me like a shove. I tried to speak and he cut in smoothly. She's stressed, he shrugged as if it was obvious. He put an arm around my sister and squeezed once. She softened at the squeeze and I saw the leash. I stepped away before my face betrayed me. I walked toward the kitchen and focused on breathing. Then I felt him behind me without turning around. Don't make me look bad, his whisper crawled under my skin and I froze. I turned fast, ready to snap back. He held up both hands like I was attacking him. Easy, his voice stayed loud enough for anyone nearby. I realized he wanted an audience and I had none. I backed off and forced my tone steady. Stop following me, the sentence came out clean for once. He smiled wider like he loved the boundary. Or what? His eyes flashed, daring me to act. My sister marched in right then, cheeks flushed. What is happening? She planted herself between us. He put on that wounded look, the one that begs sympathy. She keeps accusing me, he sighed, and my sister turned on me. You're doing this at my house, her voice shook. I opened my phone again, shaking hard this time. She looked at the screen for half a second, then snapped away. I don't want to see it, her refusal felt like a door slamming. He leaned toward me like he was about to comfort me. Instead he murmured low, sharp and fast. Nobody will back you, his smile never moved. I stared at him and something in me finally clicked into place. I snapped my screen into recording mode and held it low. My thumb hovered then pressed down hard. He walked past me and murmured, "You're not going to do it." That dare lit something in me and I didn't blink. I stepped into the hallway and locked myself in the bathroom. My hands shook so bad I dropped my phone once. I pulled up every message and captured each one. I saved copies, then saved copies of the copies because I finally learned. I stared at the last line he sent and felt sick. He wrote, "Meet me where nobody sees." I typed back one sentence and kept it plain. "Do not contact me again." Then I waited because I needed him to answer. His reply came fast, like he'd been waiting too. "Stop playing," another text followed right after. "You know you want it." I read it twice, then once more. My face went cold because now it wasn't vague. I walked out and kept my phone hidden in my palm. I moved through the room like I wasn't dying inside. He found me near the doorway and tilted his head. "Better mood," his voice sounded cheerful, like he was checking a scoreboard. I didn't answer and headed toward the back door. He followed with that calm pace that made me furious. "Don't be dramatic," he laughed under his breath. I kept walking and I felt him closing the gap. He stopped beside me and angled his body to block. His hand lifted, then hovered near my wrist again. "You're not telling her," he kept his words soft. I raised my phone slightly and his eyes flicked to it. He leaned closer, teeth showing in a quick grin. "You're recording," he looked offended, which was rich. Then his voice dropped lower, almost playful. "Delete it." The threat hid inside the request, and it landed. I stepped around him and pushed through the door anyway. My sister was outside, laughing with someone like life was easy. I walked straight to her and my voice came out steady. "Come with me." I didn't ask because asking never worked. She frowned and followed, annoyed and confused. "What is your problem?" Her hands lifted like I was ridiculous. I held my phone between us and kept it simple. "I'm done covering for him." The words tasted like metal and I didn't soften them. She glanced at the screen and tried to look away. I shifted the angle so she had no escape. Her eyes landed on the texts, then jumped back up. "That can't be real." Her voice cracked and I saw panic start. I swiped to the next message and watched her read. Her jaw tightened and she swallowed hard. I tapped play on the audio clip I'd caught earlier. His voice filled the space, and her face changed in slow steps. Footsteps hit the porch behind us, fast and heavy. He came out with that fake concern painted on. "What's going on?" He spread his hands wide like a saint. My sister turned the phone toward him, and his color drained. He started talking over the recording like noise could erase it. That's not what I meant, he pointed at me like I forced him. He laughed once, then tried to stop, then laughed again. My sister stared at him, like she'd never seen his face before. He reached for her arm and she pulled back sharp. "Don't touch me," her voice went flat and dangerous. He blinked hard and tried a new angle right away. "She wanted me," he said it like it was obvious, and I felt my stomach flip. I stepped forward before I could stop him. "Azelf. You sent it," my words came out blunt and ugly. He opened his mouth, then closed it, then tried again. His silence lasted one beat too long, and my sister noticed. She held up her hand, and he finally shut up. One finger pointed at the screen, then at him. "Explain this line." Her voice stayed quiet, which scared me more. He stared at the floor, and that was his answer. Her hands shook as she slid her ring off. She didn't throw it, she placed it down with care. He reached for it like it belonged to him. She covered it with her palm, and he stopped moving.